Talk about what's going to be a big event later in the year for the ruling party. It's the elective conference, but there's a lot to get through before we get to that event. The ANC in Mpumalanga meant to hold its elective conference this coming weekend, but there is now a possibility of those plans being disrupted. Could that happen? Well, we understand 4 disgruntled members have sent a letter to the NEC, that's the National Executive Committee, threatening to interdict the much-anticipated event in Mpumalanga. The members say that the National Working Committee had no power, this is their words, no power to disband the PEC, which stands for the Provincial Executive Committee. Party spokesperson for the ANC, Pule Mabe, with us this morning to try and hopefully, since 2017, Mr. Mabe, morning. It's been a bit messy in Mpumalanga, and I'm sure the ANC doesn't want that to continue. Do we know if it's going ahead this weekend? What do we know?
Well, morning to your viewers. Of course, the conference is going ahead as planned. It is sitting from tomorrow. There's accreditation, and that is happening today. The provincial coordinator, Comrade Lyndon Challenge, has already issued even an invitation to members of the media to come for that accreditation, which is happening today at the Wheatbank Council chambers. Tomorrow the conference will be proceeding. Delegates are also expected to be registering today from 9 o'clock up until around 7 o'clock in the evening. That is the level of readiness. Members of the National Executive Committee are already there to assist the province and to make sure that the conference runs smoothly. So from where we are sitting, there are no indications that suggest that conference will not sit. For instance, they would have said about so the branches that qualified to go to conference in Mpumalanga, about 314. They needed just over 290 branches to make sure that they've got the 70% required for their branch to be able to curate. So basically they've met the threshold required. They've got delegates whom they will be verifying through the new membership system of the ANC that we've been using to even run our own BGMs throughout.
And yet there's still this threat of it not happening because the ANC being dragged to court by its own members. Who are they? What do we know about them? Why are they doing this?
Well, we are not really much concerned about members who might want to approach the courts to solicit whatever intervention. It depends all the time. Well, now it has almost become a common feature.
But isn't that a problem that you say? I mean, your words is that it's become so common.
Yes,
that ANC members are taking the party to court. I mean, that can't be a good story to tell.
I think it is not a good story to tell for those that approach the courts. It is not
a good story for you either.
No, but the ANC doesn't send anyone. If you believe that you have got enough money to take the party to court, even when your issues could be resolved internally, or even when all your issues have been previously resolved not to your satisfaction, doesn't really assist. Because we can't tell you what you must do with your money. If you want to throw your money at lawyers, it's really your own. But we are always saying to members, place reliance on internal mechanisms of the ANC to resolve disputes. I mean, what we did is that at the 54th National Conference of the ANC, we established a structure referred to as the National Dispute Resolution Committee that is led by our Deputy Secretary General. Well, she has been unwell, and we continue to wish her well every time we get that opportunity. We have brought in Comrade Gwen Ramokhupa to assist with the coordination of some of the activities, including the work of the National Dispute Resolution Committee. She takes up her responsibility from the 1st of April.
And is that where this should fit into, this dispute should fit into that?
If they've got disputes, they should actually place reliance on those structures.
So why do you think there's this talk of going to court? Is it because these members in question, as you say, want to waste their money, your words, waste their money on lawyers? Is it because they don't feel the ANC is listening? You must have an opinion on why they're doing this.
Well, I wouldn't know. I mean, I wouldn't know on what comes into the mind of someone who takes the ANC to court, because I have never participated in such a process. It has never crossed my mind that I must take the ANC to court. If there are internal process, if there's an internal process that I'm unhappy with, I follow things through to the latter. And if I don't get my way, it's fine. They are always times. You know, a time will come when you can express yourself. Very often, if you try and get closer to disputes that are being raised, and not necessarily on the Mpumalanga issue, because when we checked with the office yesterday, even with the province, we had not really received anything as the African National Congress to suggest that. We have seen it out there playing itself, but at least on our own inboxes, in trays, there was nothing at the time of engaging with you.
And you wouldn't go out to try and find out what the problem is? Would you rather wait for it to come to you? Why would you not get them on the phone as Pule Mabe and go, hi, I hear there's a problem, what's the issue? Or are you waiting for it to come to you?
No, but where did I hear it from?
Well, the media. I mean, you're aware of it.
No, but the media is not a branch of the ANC.
No, but you say that you're aware of it. In the media or anywhere else?
No, we don't work like that. I mean, we do not lead an organization of gossip.
Okay.
You know, if there are issues, they are brought to the organization using exactly the right door. The things we hear on the streets are nothing else but street talk. So we take seriously the things that are filed, brought in. I mean, I would just to share with you. Last week there was a case brought by the ANC Youth League, brought against the ANC Youth League to try and stop the conference of the ANC, interdict the conference of the Youth League in Limpopo. And I don't know if it's a judge or magistrate, whoever presided over that case in Limpopo, actually made scathing remarks that issues that could be resolved by political parties should not be elevated to the courts and waste the time of the courts, who are expected to deal with serious issues, so gender-based violence, crimes out in communities.
So as it stands for the moment, the conference is going ahead. You're not expecting any trouble, any court interdicts. You explained it's going ahead as normal. Are we going to get leadership? Is that what the outcome must be here?
Yes.
We want peace in Mpumalanga.
Well, it is an elective conference. I think, and maybe once more, let me emphasize that our members who love the ANC, must subject themselves to the discipline of the organization. If they've got concerns, they must use internal structures of the organization to be able to resolve those. Because the ANC doesn't belong to a particular grouping. The ANC belongs to all of its members. And because it's a democratic organization, through the participation of the entirety of our members, they could be able to determine who they want as their leader, participate in the political life of the ANC by going to their own BGMs, nominating whomever they want. If ultimately, through the outcomes of conference, a different outcome to what was their desire emerges, then they've got to rally behind the leadership that has emerged. That is the tradition, long-standing tradition and values of the ANC. So you don't go to conference supporting a view that says, okay, Pule must be the branch chairperson. When Pule doesn't emerge as the branch chairperson, then for the rest of Pule's term as the branch chairperson, you are outside screaming, campaigning, and doing all of that. You know, like some of the comrades who like doing that. I mean, there are people since 2017. They have made it a permanent project to undermine the leadership of the ANC on Twitter and everywhere else. And
just before I let you go, I sort of just clarify and make sure I understand. So, has the NEC not received letters of planning to interdict the Mpumalanga elective conference from 4 members of the ANC? There's no letters in your inbox that you're aware of?
Well, we hear it from yourselves. Nothing in the in-tray, nothing at the post office, nothing by the sheriffs.
I'm sure it won't be at the post office.
I don't know. I mean, I'm just saying we haven't. I mean, maybe it is making its way. But having said that, if there are 4 members in Mpumalanga who feel aggrieved or disgruntled, our message and appeal to them is that they are most welcomed to approach members of the NEC who will be in that province. They can adjudicate on whatever concerns that they may have. We need to show the people of Mpumalanga and the rest of all the other 8 provinces, the people of South Africa, that the ANC is a solid organization. We are capable of solving our own problems without having to look for other external bodies to adjudicate over our own issues.
I appreciate your time coming in to speak to us about the ANC and Mpumalanga elective conference going ahead, according to ANC spokesperson Pule Mabe. Waiting to see how this all plays out. Of course, there has been a leadership issue since 2017. Hopefully this weekend is going to have a lot more clarity. My appreciation and thanks to the ANC spokesperson coming in. I'm a little bit late.